this video, we're going to be talking about Sister Joyce Rupp and showing the problems with Sister Rupp. And we've talked about many New Age people on here before, and she is just one of many of them. We've discussed Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, Father Richard Rohr, Thomas Keating, A Course in Miracles, The Secret, and more. And in this particular video, we're going to show how Sister Joyce, even though she's incredibly popular and she writes many books and speaks around the world, and she even writes in the Living Faith books, those little books that you see in the back of the churches during Lent and during Advent, they give the daily meditations. Yes, she writes in those, and she's barely a Catholic. I can't even be called a Catholic, as you're going to see in a minute. And while she talks about many good things, and she is sincere and does want to help people, and she talks about love and healing and kindness and wants to help people, she's also not helping people. Sometimes helping people the wrong way is not helpful. And she has so many problematic teachings, New Age teachings, feminist teachings, teachings that go against God from other religions, and so many more. But let's start at the beginning. Sister Rupp has a degree in Transpersonal Psychology. If you don't know what that is, I don't think most people do. But here's the description of what it is. She has a degree from the Transpersonal Institute, and it says that this degree is the study of humanity's highest potential, and with a recognition, understanding, and realization of unitive, spiritual, and transcendental states of consciousness. Again, if you still don't know what that means, most people don't either. It's code word for New Age, all New Age, top to bottom. And Sister Joyce recounts, and you can even find this on the web, of a conversation she had with a bishop and how disgruntled she was with the Catholic Church. And she told the bishop that I only feel like I have a little toe left in my church. I feel like I only have a little toe left in the Catholic Church. And the bishop said, keep it there. And she said, I have. And so really, Sister Joyce is admitting that she's only 1% in the Catholic Church. She only identifies 1% as a Catholic, and she identifies 99% with everything else, which I guess is why she complains so much against the church and rails so much against the church, as so many New Agers do, and tries to change the church within. And if you read her writings, if Sister Joyce had her way, she would make the Catholic Church something completely and totally different than what it actually is. She would change it top to bottom because she doesn't like it. And I don't know why she's still Catholic, because in reality, she's not Catholic. She's masquerading as a Catholic, when in reality, only one little toe is in the church and the rest is out of the church and looking up other things, teaching up other things, which is why she's so dangerous, because most of her writings come from other spiritualities like Hinduism and Buddhism and Sufism and Native American spirituality, and she admits all of this. The Catholic Church condemns syncretism, which is teaching that basically all religions are the same and all equal ways to heaven, and we can learn from all these different religions and take parts from each of them, and we can help each other. That's exactly what she does, and that's exactly what the Catholic Church condemns. So she's really going against her church in many ways. We'll come back to that in a second. One of her big problems is that she thinks the Catholic Church has been mean to women down through the centuries and has treated them horribly and still does today. She says that it's a miracle, if miracles even happen today, she says. If miracles even happen, the miracle is that there are any women left in the Catholic Church. And I'm sure there are many women out there watching this video who'd be like, I love being Catholic. The Catholic Church is wonderful. But this woman seems to have a complex that women are persecuted and put down, and all because why? Can't be priests, as if that's the be-all and end-all. Jesus didn't choose women priests, Sister Joyce. He could have. He could have made women priests, and they would have been good priests, but he didn't, and we can't change what Jesus taught. Your problem is not with the Catholic Church, it's with Jesus. Her other big problem is that there's gender male language, and it's not gender neutral language. And we use he for God, and he for Jesus, and he for the Spirit, and that sort of thing. She finds that like an abomination and a total offense to women. And in fact, Pope John Paul II wrote an encyclical about women and womanhood, and it was beautiful. It was wonderful. He praised women. He called women to use their gifts and talents, not only in the church, but in the world. And Sister Joyce hated the encyclical. And you have to go read it for yourself, because it's a wonderful thing praising women, but she hates it because why? It critiqued toxic feminism, as it should. She thinks that, and can't maybe distinguish in her broken worldview, and she doesn't often see in reality, but it distinguishes between true feminism and toxic feminism, which wants to destroy the church, which wants to take away from God, which wants to change the laws of God, change the teachings of Jesus, and change everything for their own personal suits. She said women are being blamed for the problems of society today and family and marriage, and he did not blame women. He blamed toxic feminism, which is, as we know, trying to destroy the world and family. They don't care about families anymore. They don't care about, they're pro-choice oftentimes and support abortion and support all these things that are against God and the Catholic Church. She's shooting the middleman, the Catholic Church, when in fact all these laws that the Catholic Church have received has come from Jesus and God himself. And if you read Sister Joyce Rupp's writing, she's obsessed with Sophia, who she talks to, prays to, gets counsel from, because Sophia means wisdom, and she thinks it's like the feminine face of God. Although if you read her writings, it's not really the God that we worship. It's more of a deist God, or this other God. It's almost like another God, or a goddess even. And you're going to see this in a minute when we talk about her prayers. The prayers that she prays are not prayers. They're poetry, and they're very off the mark. They're praying to all these other different things. Like we said, syncretism. She prays to the spirit of the north, spirit of the south, spirit of the east, spirit of the west. And she capitalizes north, south, east, and west as if they're all other gods or something. But the reality is this is Native American spirituality, and even pagan spirituality is known for praying to the north, south, east, and west. And we're not talking, just normal pagan. We're talking dark pagan spirituality like Wicca, the occult, and that sort of thing. And so for her to be pulling from all these different sources that are not Catholic and teach things that are against the Catholic Church are extremely problematic. And she admits that she's trying to expand our awareness of who God is. But she's pulling from all these different religions, and she's coming up with all of these weird, interesting names from these different religions, including one of the prayers that she starts with. She addresses God as the spinning woman God. Whatever that means. The spinning woman God. That's how she starts the prayer. But of course, this comes from another religion. So it doesn't even make sense in the Catholic faith. It doesn't make sense, I don't think, in any faith. But the reality is she has many, many problems in the way that she prays, in the way she understands God. And when you see her address God, it's more of like poetry, as I said earlier. She just kind of like talks about the birds and the bees and the trees and the stars and how beautiful they are and how nice it is to reflect on them. And there's almost nothing discernibly Christian or Catholic or godly in these poems. Listen to what this poem has to say. Prayer has to say, just for example. She addresses God as, "O dancer of creation." Dancer of creation. Yeah, we made a whole video on The Lord of the Dance, that song. That was actually taken and based off a Hindu statue of Shiva who looked like he was dancing. And that's where they get the song from. And they sang it in church. It's an abomination. A lot of the songs we sing in church are an abomination. But she says, "Dancer of creation, the earth awakens to an urgent call to grow. In the hidden recesses of the wintered spirit, I too hear the humming of your voice, calling me, wooing the deadness back to life." Listen to this. "My soul stretches, quickens, yawns, as the energy of spring revives my weariness. I sit with wonder observing the steady activity of a downy woodpecker and a newly yellowed finch. I do so wait with the avid attention of a child's first look, savoring the colors and shapes of Earth's loveliness." That's a lovely poem, but it's not a prayer. It's not even talking to God. It's just reflecting on, I'm observing the steady activity of the woodpecker. And, I've looked at the yellow finch. And, I sit here observing the colors and shapes of the earth. That has nothing to do with God. This is not prayer. And yet her books are just filled with this kind of not prayer, filled with things that are taken from other religions. And in fact, I have a book here on the circle of life, which like 99% of it is filled with these kind of prayers and meditations and things that are taken from Native American spirituality and things that aren't Catholic. There's about 1% of anything in here that's Catholic, which would be accurate of the representation because she only has one toe left in the Catholic Church, she thinks. And so this whole book and most of her books are non-Catholic and have non-Catholic teachings in them. Listen to what a real prayer sounds like. And even if you're struggling, and even if you don't know who God is and you're searching for God, as this saint was, listen to how he addresses God. When we pray, prayer is to God. It is talking to him, listening to him, meditating and reflecting on him. It's addressed to him. It's not just musing and, reflecting on creation. That's not, we could do that, but that's not really prayer. Listen to what this says. It says, "Oh my God." Notice it, not "Oh dancer of creation." "Oh my God, teach my heart where and how to seek you, where and how to find you. You are my God. You are my all, even though I have never seen you. You have bestowed upon me all good things that I possess, even though still I do not know you. I have not done that which I was made, so teach me to speak. I cannot speak unless you teach me. You. I love you, God. I want to know you, God. I want to find you, God. I want you to come deeper into my soul." So it's all, that's not the whole thing, but it's all talking about loving God more, finding God more, being with God more, not reflecting on a yellow finch and, reflecting on birds and bees and trees and stars and all of these other things. And she gets bizarre in some of her prayers and stuff. So I would just caution you to stay far away from anything written by Sister Joyce Rupp. Some of it, yeah, it could be good. Yes, some of it has to do with love and healing, but there's too much poison in it. There's too much unhelpful things while she's trying to help you. As I said earlier, helping someone in an unhelpful way is actually not helpful. Leading people away from God while trying to help them is not actually helpful. We have to condemn syncretism. People say, well, all religions are the same. Well, really? Is Satanism the same as Christianity? Is a Mormon polygamous cult just as good as Catholicism? Is Scientology just as good as Christianity? All religions are not the same, which is why the Catholic Church condemns syncretism. Jesus Christ alone is the way, the truth, and the life, as it says in John 14:6. He alone, he says, is the resurrection and the life. He alone is the only way to heaven, Acts 4:12. And that's why the Catholic Church, in her documents on the New Age movement, condemn people like Sister Rupp and theology and doctrine and teachings that she asserts and claims and propagates. It condemns them because they come from other places and not from Christianity. And if you want to know what the New Age is and why she is New Age, check out our video on the New Age. We just made a whole video on the New Age and the law of attraction and the secret, and of course in miracles and yoga and Reiki and many, many other things. And there are more coming. So if any of those interest you, check them out down below. We'll leave a list of all the videos we've done on New Age topics so far. So if any interest you can check them out and watch them. And of course, like them and share them. And if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave them down below in our comments section. If you've seen any problematic things with Father Richard Rohr, who we've had videos on and we're going to have more on, please leave that down below too, or Sister Joyce Rupp, or Thomas Keating, or any of the other New Age teachers in our church who are deceiving people and leading them astray. In the name of God, they're leading them astray. They might be sincere, but they're sincerely wrong and sincerely confused. So we want to thank you for sharing this video and getting the word out there. And thank you for all that you do for us. Please see our support systems below, Patreon, PayPal. Please see our social media below if you want to follow us for daily inspiration. And please pray for us in our work, as we're always praying for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate. I'm the video editor here at Catholic Truth, and I just wanted to say on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for taking some time to watch our videos and learn more about your faith. You guys really make this channel possible, and we truly appreciate you being here. So thanks again, and God bless.